Hello, this is Matt DiVincenzo. My Unity ID is MJDIVINC. I'm going to be going over my version of Homework 2 that will install Mattermost using Ansible. So I have two Baker YAML files. One is for my Mattermost server with this IP address, and the other is with my Ansible server that gets the key from the Mattermost server. I built my two VMs off screen since they take a minute to get going. I just ran Baker Bake. I did it in here as well. So this one. So now I'm gonna SSH into this server and then go into the shared Ansible server folder. Real quick, I'm gonna show the inventory here that I'm using for my Ansible scripts. This IP address as the host for the Mattermost server. And then I have the first YAML I'm gonna run with Ansible is here, the startup YAML. It's just to update everything with apt. So to run that startup, I'm going to run this playbook command with startup. I have to type in yes the first time I connect to that IP address. And this takes a minute, so I'll wait for it to go. Okay, so that startup YAML finished. This warning is just because I couldn't find aptitude. It's using apt-get, which is what I want it to use. So now I'm going to run the next YAML with that's called MySQL, which I'll show before I run it. So here's my MySQL YAML. I got two passwords as my variables up here. I'm setting the root password twice just by using debconf to store the value of the password when MySQL asks for it. And then I'm installing MySQL. I'm testing that it started. And then I test the root login here, which I don't think is necessary, but I wanted to make sure that it was working. And then I create the Mattermost database here with the password using root. And same thing for the user, just with the host IP address from the Mattermost server and just giving it all privilege. And then I do a step down here as well to edit the database config file, just to not use the IP address that it was using in that file, but I'm not sure if that's necessary as well. So now I'm going to run this playbook. This one shouldn't take as long as the last one, so I might let it run on screen. So that finished. Should be good to go. Okay, I have my Mattermost YAML here. It's honestly been causing me a lot of trouble. I'm trying to record this video a few times, so hopefully it works now. I'm creating some directories here. The downloads one is for downloading Mattermost into it, and then I extract it into the opt folder, which only happens the first time you run this playbook because this calls it to skip since Mattermost already exists. Then I make a data directory and a Mattermost user and group on the Mattermost server VM. And then I'm changing a lot of privileges here to try to get it to work the first time. There's probably a better way to change the privileges, but I haven't found it yet. And then I'm editing the config file a ton here for my connection here to the IP address and password and the correct database for MySQL. And then also for a lot of email settings and SMTP settings. I had a setting in here to set up TLS on the connection security, but that has, I think, been causing one of my problems, so I'm leaving it out for now. And then I'm moving this service file for the Mattermost service that I have here using MySQL service. And then this last command, I'm not sure if it works how I want it to. I had another one to try to enable Mattermost to run on startup, but that one wasn't working out for me. So I'm gonna try it like this, and hopefully this works. So this playbook ran how I wanted it to, but I'm not sure if it's actually going to work with the user YAML now because this one has been giving me even more trouble. First of all, it's not idempotent because I haven't had time to figure out how to make it idempotent with the register and when tags. So don't run this one twice. If you will, it'll just fail because an error, because these users and teams will already exist. So I'm going to run this and hope that it works. If not, I'm going to have to change some things and I'll come back and say what I changed to get it to work. Okay, so this is one of the problems I've been having where it seems like it should work, and this creating the user will just hang for what seems like infinitely. I don't think there's anything wrong with the command I'm running. It just seems to hang. So what I usually have to do is run that command on the Mattermost server manually, which really sucks. But if it's what I gotta do at this point because I'm running out of time. Okay, so I'm in the VM now. This is still hanging, so I'm gonna just have to run it from here. Gotta change the Mattermost user with my password, and then go to the correct location. Yeah, so I'm gonna run this exact command that I have. I just copied and pasted it into this location in Mattermost. And normally this works for me. Okay, so that's gives me a lot of output, and some of that might be my problem. But I don't have time to go through all this, and it created the user. So I'm gonna stop this. If this turns out to be an issue where it just hangs and I have to be patient enough to wait for it, then I'll update things later, but I think it's just not working. So what I normally have to do is just kill it and comment this out. So now when I run these other two commands only with the user already created manually, that usually works for me. So I'm not sure what the issue is. I'm using the same location as far as I can tell. I'm gonna run this again. I just changed this name because I had it wrong. It should add this name user that I created. See what happens. Okay, so those commands run really fast. I'm not sure what the problem is with the first one. I don't have enough time to figure it out. Um, this has really been finicky for me. Um, I tried to go to this link a couple times and eventually it worked. I actually ran this Mattermost YAML again with this run on startup in here. I'm not sure if that helped because the first time that command hung as well. When I ran it again, it says okay. But I don't know if it actually does anything. I've tried to test it, but I'm not really sure. So I'm gonna just log in to Mattermost now and finish this up. I'm gonna use my email and my password. So it tells me that there's no teams are available to join. So normally I have to create a new team, sample, and the same sample URL. But I am actually in the team here that I made earlier as well. So I guess I just have to make a new one and then I have both of them. I'm gonna skip the tutorial. I have my channel here. I can write in it. So the chat server does work as far as I know. Ansible part doesn't fully work, unfortunately. I can go to the system console and show my email settings that I have. A lot of these are set up correctly, but the AWS email service that I use, I only started setting up today, and it's not working, and it's not totally working yet because this verification is still pending. I'm not sure if I submitted it correctly, but I did see that it says it can take up to 72 hours. So that's not working yet either. It might in the next couple of days. I'm not sure. But that's about it. I'm running out of time, so I'm just going to submit what I have. And yeah, that's the end of this video.